Hey guys, you are watching Boondocking with Dennis. Howdy kids. First one on the ferry. Dead center, front row. Leaving Mustang Island, heading over to the mainland towards Aransas Pass, Texas. There's an empty ferry going back up there to get to the other side, which means there's more traffic coming this way, or they're just getting ready to dock it. They only try to use enough ferries to keep the flow going. So sometimes there's a lot of traffic coming onto the island and a little traffic going off. We'll see if there's lines once we're over there. We're looking at the Corpus Christi ship channel. Only one ship has come through in the last few hours. I didn't get over here until around 9 a.m. and they usually start running them first thing in the morning, even in some cases before sunrise. Check out the colors of the water, the reflection of the sky, the clouds. That's pretty amazing. I didn't spot any dolphins today. My main reason for coming over was just to see the beach driving conditions. And if you haven't seen my videos before this, most of the beach that I went to was drivable. Some of it wasn't. And they're still working on it. They're constantly working. They really got hammered here. The city of Port Aransas, they only got a surge. The water came up to the dunes, really rough waves, but from Hurricane Beryl, which didn't affect us all in Rockport, they had to get all those porta potties on skids inland, and they actually used bulldozers to seal street access off. We even drove through an RV park yesterday that only had 2 RVs in it. So that was pretty amazing. And that was the one that is right there on the beach. And I'm sorry, I said the name of it in the video, and I just don't recall what it is at the moment. I didn't even notice what ferry we are on. We're on one of the newer, bigger ones. And I talked about that the last time we crossed the ferry. Kind of watching to the right. There's an area where the water's churning. I don't know if that's current or, I mean, it's almost like there's a sandbar right there, and I know there's not. So I don't know what would cause that. A school of fish and a little feeding frenzy, but there's none other around here like it. It's it could be gas or fuel on top of the water. Yeah, that's what I think it is. Gas or fuel on top of the water, and then the waves just turn it up a little bit. I don't really know what the temperature is. I have my truck shut off. It hasn't reached 90 degrees yet. It's 10:18 in the morning. Whenever we don't go straight across, it always reminds me of Outlaw Josie Wales. What do they call it? Is it a Mississippi boat ride or a Missouri boat ride? I've talked about it a few times, but there's a scene from the Outlaw Josie Wales where they're being chased by the Union cavalry, and they cross the bridge, and they cross the ferry. And the ferry goes back, and instead of running, they wait. And when the cavalry gets on the ferry, Clint Eastwood shoots the rope that guides the ferry, so it's just out of control going down the river. And I think he says, I want to say Mississippi boat ride. It could be Missouri boat ride. Things I'll have to Google. Things I knew when I said it a month ago and don't know the answer today. Well, the engine's just stopped. Maybe we're going on a Port Aransas boat ride. I'll roll down the window so you guys can hear the sounds of the ship. I've never been on like a big oil tanker. I've been on a cruise ship, and I don't remember it making any noises other than the geez, I had a room on a cruise ship, and it was a nice room, and I had a speaker outside my door, and it was just constant announcements about things I didn't care about. You know, like there's a senior dance at so and so, and just different events and things like that. And it was like I was happy sitting on the deck and watching the water. And look at those clouds, kids. It's not bad at all. So are we waiting for... There are 2 open docking places. And I wonder if we're waiting for something. Maybe we're just practicing. Very rude of them not to tell me what is going on at all times. Sometimes it's a 2-minute ride. Sometimes it's a 10-minute ride. He doesn't look concerned, so he just tapped his head to somebody. What does that mean? We had this person before. There's a person on the left we had before. I think I would recognize almost everyone. I think they have a pretty good turnover, but they always have that... there's the Charles W. Held that we talked about. Former Texas Transportation Board director, was it? And he went to Texas A&M. So it would be interesting to get the names of one of these other vessels as I cross it and have some information for you about that one. But each ferry is trimmed in colors related to the person it's named after, and the Held, Charles W. Held attended Texas A&M, so it's trimmed in the Aggie colors, which is pretty cool. And this one looks to be trimmed in the same colors. So either my theory is completely wrong, or this one was named after another Aggie graduate. I'll have to look it up. I apologize, guys. I had my AC shut off. You're not allowed to run your truck while you're actually on the ferry. We were the first ones off, but my phone overheated and shut off, which happens. Last time I was up here, I was thinking we haven't gone down some of these roads in a while over here. So instead of driving the same road back to Rockport, if this road is open, I thought we'd head down here. Dead end, no turnaround. Yeah, we know that. We've been down here before, but it doesn't say no trespassing or do not enter. This road has fallen under some disrepair. It used to go back, I think he used to be able to go back further. I always get this road and the last road confused. That runs right along the water. And that's the road we found the dead dolphin on. Actually, my buddy Gary had told me about that years ago. Yeah, it looks like this is, yeah, they got it gated, okay. So it is a dead end, and there is no turnaround. You used to be able to go further. That's okay. Now we know. And we'll never have to come back here again. I'm going to try to keep it on the road here if I can. Nothing like a 12-point turn, right? Remember when you were getting your driver's license, you had to practice the 3-point turn? They didn't know about Texas roads then. And the world famous 12-point turn. That was probably only a 6-point turn, but you get the idea. Let's go down the next road. Usually a bunch of people fishing, and that leads down to a little boat yard that we probably won't have access to, but that's okay. Nothing coming. Oh, by the way, there was no long ferry line to get onto the ferry, and maybe that's because they sent the extra boats back empty and got things moving along. But in the summer months, like early in the day, everyone wants to get on the island, and towards the end of the day, everyone wants to get off the island. Not everyone, but the heavier flows of traffic. What do we got here? Harbor Island Road. Let's go. Let's go to Harbor Island Road. Haven't been back here in quite a while. Got the air going. Here comes a big truck. Oh, we see people fishing back here. Troy and Angela, if you're watching, Adventure America and Mrs. Adventure America. Links in description. They're channels that I watch, friends of mine. They're over in the Corpus Christi area. Travel. It's the police. Oh, 2 different law enforcement agencies trading information. There's a barge and a boat. So I know there's virtually nothing on the right, so let's angle this way. Maybe give you guys a better view. Speed limit's 30 and we're going 20. That's about all this road will allow. There's a pair of boots sitting there. Someone left a pair of boots. The Lydia Ann Lighthouse is to our left. To have permission to even set foot on that island. There's some people fishing there on the left. There's people fishing down. Oh, that's just an empty chair. Well, I'm apologizing again, guys. My phone overheated and shut off, and I cranked up my air conditioning to let it cool down, and then the battery died on my phone. So I knew that would take a while to charge up, and I took a nap, because naps are awesome. Then while I was napping, it rained. So we got a completely different landscape here. There are some barges on the left. And I was just going to give up and head back to Rockport, and I'm like, no, we're all in here, right? We're all in for this ride. And then I picked up my little holder that has, it's a 3-leg flexible tripod, and you can bend the legs, and I hang it upside down from a mirror. and 2 of the legs popped out. So I need to get some glue today and fix that up for next time, but right now it's rigged. And there's still a little bit of mist, but I thought I would show you what is up at the end of this road. And I've gone through these gates before when there's been ships docked here or big boats, and picked up crew and picked up a captain, or even once picked up a captain at what's up the road here, the Walmart in Aransas Pass, and brought him here with a bunch of supplies. I mean, a bunch of supplies. And helped them unload, and the crew came out and got it on the boat. Really nice guys. Did I get a tip? Nope. Nope. I picked up a guy once, I think I told this story last month, but a tugboat captain who, he said he was a tugboat captain. Talked about how his wife left him. And even in his version of the story, I don't blame his wife for leaving him. And this was when I was driving for Uber and Lyft, by the way. I'll just start the story in the middle. Let me zoom a little this way, guys, because there are some barges over here that maybe you can see. Sorry about that dirty spot on the outside of the windshield. There's some barges and things over there. Ooh, a cardinal. Figures. I put the camera to the side and a cardinal passes us right across the front where the camera was just pointing. But whenever someone said, when they kept mentioning they were going to tip you, or if they say I'm going to tip you through the app, and they keep mentioning it, you're not getting any tip whatsoever. So took this guy to a bunch of places and wound up dropping him off at a bed and breakfast, or probably an Airbnb place in Corpus Christi. So I already knew I wasn't getting a tip because he kept telling me I was getting a tip. So now I was just messing with him, getting all the stuff out of the car. And I said, you want me to wait, make sure you get in okay? Oh no, I'm fine. And I just kept asking him questions until he realized that I knew that I wasn't going to get on a tip. But I always have a few minutes to mess with people, right? And then the next morning, I was the only driver in that area, and he called for a ride. He had to be at the airport by a certain time. So I accepted the ride and then did my own thing. And when it came time to pick him up, like a minute before pickup time, I canceled the ride. So hopefully he missed his flight. I didn't see any other driver respond. Hopefully he had to call a taxi and pay 3 times the price. And the taxi drivers don't play. They're going to want their tip in cash. But it's just karma, right? Karma coming all around. I got one last horrible dad joke. I actually like this one from the dad joke calendar. Did you hear about the claustrophobic astronaut? Yeah, claustrophobic astronaut. He just needed a little bit more space. The goat's up. Goat had a nap. We're good. People are fishing. So is it supposed to be better fishing after it rains? Because there's a whole new line of fishermen here that weren't here when we came through. Let me get a sip of my nice cold coffee. There's people fishing right there. There's people fishing right there. 4 rods, no fish. At least they're not getting snags like we see over at the South Jetty. day we're going to film someone catching a big fish. Or at least a keeper, huh? I see him catching small ones. I mean, our buddy Eugene is eating well. I did get to watch some videos this morning. I'll tell you what, just from that little nap, I think I slept deep because I'm a little confused about what time of day it is. I mean, I got a clock right in front of me, but you know what I mean? Like I feel like it's morning because it's darker now that the rain has moved in and everything, and we do need the rain. But I watched videos from the foothills of Appalachia. I only have trouble saying that word when I'm making a video, apparently. Foothills of Appalachia. Damn it. I actually watched one the other day. The wife is Angel, and she cooked a really good meal. I mean, there must have been 10 different things on the plate, and most of it was right out of their garden. Really good channel. Angel, the wife, did cooking, and then this morning the husband Rowdy was out in the garden giving you an update. They grow their own everything. Today's was cantaloupe and watermelon, but butternut squash, and I know they've grown okra there, and a certain kind of corn for decoration, and just little tomatoes, like a little bit of everything. So that's I really enjoy that channel. It's nice to see how people in other parts of the country and the world live. And I watched a live stream replay from my buddy A Surfer. A Surfer does some of the really best nature photography I've ever seen. He goes underwater in Hawaii and mostly films turtles, but when he's filming the turtles, sea turtles, you can hear the whales singing in the back, and it's all natural. It's not like overdubbed with whale songs or anything. And he'll show you around Hawaii. Those are my favorite videos. When he does live streams, it's usually card related, collectible card related. And who else did I watch today? Oh, this morning seemed like so long ago. I have Zeus playing on my tablet, a playlist for her. Zeus, the Great German Shepherd, and I played, thank God, TGIF channel on my playlist overnight. So I really do try to support other people on YouTube when I can. I'm going to turn the air up a little bit. So we're back on 361, heading towards Aransas Pass. And now it's just a matter of which way do we want to go. Because just a few days ago, we came down Highway 35 to get here. The other day, we went up 188 to where the big fisherman used to be. Maybe we'll make a left at the HEB in Aransas Pass. We haven't gone that way in a while. We can see what's going on. Last time we went down that way, we wound up at the Cove in Ingleside. So we'll have to see what's going on. Let me tell you something about Popeyes, guys. Popeyes chicken. When I pick up Popeyes chicken, I order through the app. And every time the order on the app, I get charged more on my credit card, my debit card. than what it says on the app. And I have to do one of those online chats, and then they'll like give you a $5 off your next order thing, but it's literally every time. I mean, so I actually filed a complaint with the Better Business Bureau against Popeyes. And it's like, see, there's a Popeyes right here on the left. It's not the people working in Popeyes. Like, I never have any trouble with the people in Rockport. That's where I pick up Luciano's chicken. They're very nice. They're usually understaffed, but it seems to be every place we go now. And I know a lot of people say, well, no one wants to work nowadays. The price of housing in places like Rockport and Port Aransas, you can't afford to work at Popeyes and afford rent to live here. If you're still living with your parents and you're a kid, yeah, you can get away with it if you can, you know, live off 10, 11 bucks an hour. And I know even at the McDonald's in Rockport, it says they pay up to $13 an hour. And I'm old enough where $13 an hour sounds like a decent pay, but it's not when you have to live off it. When you're losing the taxes and you get 10 bucks an hour, and you're getting a $400 check if they give you 40 hours. They're basically making what I make on YouTube a month, and I don't have rent. I have rent. It's a truck payment, and I have 4 bills right now. I have my truck payment, I have my truck insurance, I have my phone, and I'm still paying off the hospital from my hospital stay there. And that's like 7 different bills. I don't know if you guys have stayed in the hospital lately, but you don't just get a bill from the hospital. You get a bill from the hospital, the surgeon, the x-ray department, the surgical team if you got surgery, I forget, but the CAT scan people. It's pretty amazing to me. And I've lumped that all into one bill, and I pay so much a week. And I'm like, well, if I live to be 300, I'll get this paid off. So it's those are my 4 bills. And I try to spend $50 a week on food. And then I pay for gas too. Yeah, gas is probably my, well, I guess my truck payment, and then gas would be my biggest expenses. And if you're new to the channel and you were just enjoying the scenery and I messed it up with my life, sorry about that. But I live full-time in my F-150 with a Leer Topper, and I always slept in the back since, I believe, November of last year. I've slept in the front seat. I have congestive heart failure, and I need a valve work done, and I need a stent. And I'm hoping by the end of next month I'll have enough money to obtain insurance. So we're going south from Aransas Pass to beautiful Ingleside, Texas. There's the Hummer Haven RV Park. We're not going to go down here too far because I don't want to take up your Sunday. I think we're already running right around, I don't know, 28, 29 minutes. I'm sure you guys got things to do. You can see the sun's really fighting to come out. I think we'll just drive down to the end of this road, and we'll be right at the Corpus Christi Ship Channel in Ingleside, and we're going to time it perfect big ship is going to be coming through, and there's going to be big ships parked on the left that we'll get to look at, and maybe we'll see a little wildlife along the way. Hope the camera's not shaking too much. I'm waiting for it to just fall. At the Rockport terminal, where they have the trains at, they did have box cars along the highway, but there were no engines hooked up to them today. I went by there yesterday and they had the engines hooked up to the cars, but they were around the curve, pretty good distance from the road where you could record them. These live oaks are just amazing. Pretty good cloud cover back here. I've mentioned before, someone misunderstood what I said. When I mention the boys, I'm not talking about sons or daughters or even my grandkids. I'm talking about my friends' children that I helped. They lived with me a lot, sometimes with the dad, sometimes without the dad, and picked them up at daycare, dropped them off at daycare, brought them to school, picked them up after school. This goes back all the way when I was living in Philadelphia, cooking them food, washing their clothes. So yeah, when I say the boys, that's who I'm referring to. I'm not referring to my daughter's boys. I refer to them as my grandkids. So I'm sorry if I reversed those two when I was speaking. But I'm scatterbrained, I'm old. Get off my lawn. Most importantly, get off my lawn. We'll head right down here. It's all industry to our left. What do we got here? Raider RV Park. Oh, I think that's kind of new. So many RV parks in this area. I'd be a little... Well, I guess as long as my RV was towable. If I had a trailer, it was towable. Because we do get a lot of hurricane warnings and the occasional hurricane right here. We really dodged a bullet last week. I was thinking about taking a ride through Palacios and some of the other little towns that got hit. Palacios is only, 60 miles from Rockport. It's probably about an hour and a half to get there. And I've done videos from there before. But I don't know if I just want to show up to see destruction. But I know when I do these videos, a lot of people are familiar with Palacios. A lot of people live there that don't live there anymore. That's why we make the Rockport videos, why we make the Port Aransas videos. A lot of people, grew up in Rockport and haven't been back in 40 years, and a lot of people vacationed in Rockport, and people have memories in every little town. There's a small town past Palacios that I saw on the map one day, and it was Blessing, Texas. And I've gone through there a few times since, going to other cities along the way. But once I posted that Blessing video, like 2 years later, my friend Alexis is the young lady that lived with me right after Hurricane Harvey. She had just one boy at the time. She's got 2 children now, and she's doing awesome. At that time, Alexis was an Army vet had a small boy, like under a year old, and the apartment she was renting over here in Ingleside was condemned. So she had to move out. Now look at that, there's a big ship. What do you know? What if this is one of the ones we've filmed before? Could be. Something Panther? What is this? DHT Panther. It's probably an LPG tanker, but it doesn't quite look like an LPG tanker, and I can't look it up on Vessel Finder. I mean, it looks like an oil tanker, but they don't usually go there. DHT Panther. I'll have to look that one up. It's pretty neat. It's starting to rain, kids. Let me get my, well, we timed it right because here's the end of the road and the rain's coming. But Alexis's grandmother lives in Blessing. So it was like years later she saw that video I posted randomly. She was like, "You filmed my grandmother's house." I'm like, "Oh, sorry." Is that a security breach? This right here is the Corpus Christi ship channel. It's also the entrance to one of the Flint Hill properties. And sometimes they have security people sitting right out here. But guys, I hope you're doing well. Sorry about rambling today. I hope you're all having an awesome Sunday. Thanks for riding along today. Surprised security hasn't come yet. Thanks for watching.